I met Rita in 2003 when I spent 6 months on the street for a project that we were doing at the Chronicle. Among the people we met and we wrote about was this group, they called themselves Homeless Island. About 12 homeless addicts who lived on a traffic island. Rita was among them. Some of the islanders would put mirrors here. They'd stick them in the vegetation here. If you needed to shoot up in your neck or under the eyelids, you could do that. Rita's family back in Florida read the story and said, we really got to go out and save her. They found her sitting right around here and didn't recognize her. She was near death. She had abscesses all over. Her family saved her. She was willing to be saved. What I want this book to do is show people how someone can sink to the depths of chronic homelessness and then how you can come out of it, because that's what inspired me the most. I love it when I get a good story going, and when you're typing it, I'll be laughing while I write it, or I'll be crying sometimes if it's really sad. I've always loved it since I was, since even before I decided I was going to do newspapers at 14. So what happened? What brought you out here?
Long story short.
I've been covering homelessness for 40 years, been at the Chronicle for a little more than 30. The street folks that I had known would come to trust you if you're listening, if you're empathetic. Really see the person, not just the addict, not just the guy in a tent, the woman on cardboard. Rita's family took her back to Florida and she rehabbed beautifully. She cleaned up off drugs and she became a health nutritionist and a massage therapist and a truly wonderful person in my life, an inspiring person. We were friends for the next 20 odd years. And Rita stayed really healthy until she got cancer a couple years ago. In 2019, I interviewed Tyson Filzer, sitting on a piece of cardboard. And when that story ran, his brother in Ohio said, I haven't seen Tyson in 7 years. That's him, help me find him. So he flew out from Ohio and we spent all day looking for Tyson, finally found him late at night. Time froze just long enough to hear the crunch of discarded needles and glass meth pipes underfoot, long enough to hear the low murmur of a dozen or so homeless people sitting or sprawled on the sidewalk all around them in the darkness. Nice to see you, Tyson said. Nice to see you. Give me a hug. Barron pulled him close. We took him to a hotel room, did an intervention. He was ready to come off the streets. And he did wonderfully for, nearly 6 months. But then he relapsed and wound up overdosing on fentanyl and dying at the same place we found him at. The latest governmental figures show that homelessness went up in the last year. It's a thing that we really need to get a grip on. It shouldn't happen in a city, but really a country this prosperous, this rich. What has changed is the amount of supportive housing and shelters that have been created. Now, a lot of it needs more case management. Not enough of them are getting full rehab, getting job help. You need to be a human being when you do these stories too. You're not just an objective, faceless chronicler of events. Homeless people aren't just one-dimensional caricatures. There's much more than that. Everyone was somebody's baby with a lot of hope. People can be rescued. You have to believe that. We have to believe that as a society. You cannot just write off a whole segment of the country.